Greece is not only associated with beautiful weather, islands and the Acropolis, it is also a symbol of the powerful financial crisis that shook the economy 15 years ago. And it is precisely such an economic collapse that the German newspaper Berliner Zeitung predicts for Poland under the December 13th coalition government and Prime Minister Donald Tusk. The zloty will undergo a radical devaluation. Polish financial institutions will go bankrupt, and the finance minister will have to forget about plans to build a nuclear power plant, a large airport, and other prestigious investments, because most of them have to be paid for in euros and US dollars, and after devaluation, they will become unattainable, as will most purchases for the military, which also have to be paid for in dollars or euros. Large and ambitious projects planned for Poland join the Law and Justice government, such as the Central Transportation Port, the Vistula Split Canal, and the expansion of the gas port in Świnoujście and the nuclear power plant have hurt the Germans. A Berlin newspaper describes them as unrealistic. Prominent politicians from the Civic Coalition repeat this almost word for word. I believe that this is megalomania, given that we will have an airport in Berlin within 2 years. The policy of Donald Tusk's government is consistent and coherent in favour of the Federal Republic of Germany. The government's first decisions were already aimed at helping the German economy, which is in recession. This is how I perceive the suspension of the Central Transportation Port project, as well as the suspension of investments in Polish ports and key armament projects that were to be implemented in Poland, because the German armament industry is experiencing a huge crisis. Experts believe that Poland's vassalization is progressing. How is our economy, which should be driven by major investments, supposed to develop in such a situation? Our economy does not work in the interests of the Polish nation or Polish enterprises, Polish households, but only for various oligarchs, various corporations, in particular German ones, which earn huge amounts of money from it. And, of course, to be clear, there are no large projects under the current government in Poland, and there will be none, because it would be contrary to Berlin's interests. We have mass layoffs, we have abandoned investments, and there are really a lot of these abandoned investments. And these are the ones at the government level, the largest ones that were to be implemented, such as the Central Transportation Port, the expansion of Polish port, but also those implemented at the level of state-owned companies. Until recently, Orlen was the crown jewel of Polish companies. Today, it is struggling because its position threatened German companies. If we were to analyze step by step the most strategic, largest state-owned companies, we could say that the situation is bad everywhere. It is worse. We have either significantly lower profits or even huge losses generated by these companies. And this happened in a short time, after a year of management by the managers of the December 13th coalition. On the railway track in Zmigrod, Deutsche Bahn has completed tests of a high-speed train manufactured by Siemens. The media report that German railways are to receive permission to use Polish tracks, including on the Warsaw to Berlin route. There are more examples, including a symbolic purchase of wind turbines that have already served their purpose in Germany. Suspending investments in our country or creating unfavourable conditions for Polish entities means that we are not only losing out, but we are also heading towards a serious crisis, which means that soon some large German corporations will enter or take over assets or various Polish companies under the pretext of saving the Polish economy. This is already happening, for now, with kid gloves. The takeover of Polish ports by Germany, because there are companies and partnerships formally, legally, these ports are not taken over. But there are companies and partnerships of various kinds, even the smallest ones, taken over by Germany. So this economy is subordinated. The German newspaper also deeply regrets that Poland is not in the Eurozone and that Polish families receive 800-plus benefits. And here we come to the heart of the matter. If the civic platform led by Tusk and its coalition partners had managed to help Warsaw Mayor Rafał Trzaskowski win the presidential election, there would have been a chance to introduce urgently needed structural reforms. However, Trzaskowski lost. The Poles backed Karol Nawrocki, so the Civic Coalition, in partnership with Berlin and Brussels, failed to complete the process of turning Poland into a vassal state, leading to the decisive ruin of the Polish economy and its takeover by Germany. And in the name of saving the German economy, or will they then say the European economy, they will take over Polish strategic investments. Poles stood in the way of this plan, but the damage done to the economy, that is to all of us, will take years to repair.
Marcin Szewczak, Republika.